big iceberg. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Kangacraft. This is episode 9, and I join you today as I have completed the outline and filling of my iceberg in the middle of this giant frozen lake. Now, I have made the peaks on the iceberg more preferable, and I've also added 2 other supplementary peaks on the iceberg, as I thought that these sides were a bit too thick for how there was only 1 peak, so I decided to add 3 separate peaks to this iceberg, and I'll show you all my work that I've done in this quick time lapse. Let's run that. Before the time lapse starts, I'd like to remind you to click that subscribe button. Only a small percentage of people have subscribed to my channel, so if you want to become part of the small percentage, click subscribe now. And there we have it. Now that you've seen the time lapse, you may be thinking, Rob, but it's a great looking iceberg, but it's only one plain type of ice. And well, you're right. Today I want to work on some of the details of this iceberg. However, I don't only want to work on the iceberg today because that will be quite draining and honestly won't make for a hugely entertaining video. So while we start working on adding some of the snow to this peak, to that one over there, and a bit dripping down each one of these peaks, I also want to go ahead and finally kill the wither. And what this will do is will give us the wither star. Then we will be able to have a beacon, and I want the beacon not only for the properties that it gives you, such as haste, strength, regen, etc., but I also want it for a visual factor for my iceberg. As I mentioned in the previous video, the theme of this build is an ancient or advanced civilization has taken refuge inside this iceberg, and the beam of the beacon will represent a highly advanced technology going on inside the iceberg as an extra tie-in to this theme. So let's go ahead and start adding some of the snow details to the top of this iceberg, and I want the snow to look somewhat similar to the vanilla style icebergs, such as this one here. As you can see, there is a snowy peak at the top here, a secondary peak also in snow, and snow that stops roughly around the midpoint of the iceberg there. And that is what I reckon I want to have on each of the peaks. So there'll be snow here and come down to roughly about this line there, and same deal with this one, that line there, and same deal with this one, snow here, and ending around there. And I will think about adding some extra details that isn't shown in the vanilla style icebergs. As you can see here on my Google search, this is an iceberg that I sort of want to take inspiration from. It has a nice big middle peak that comes down and connects off to these other little peaks that hang around the outside. I want to add these other peaks on the ice lake, not necessarily formed like this, more of into the water or the frozen lake. However, another feature that I want to take from this design into mine is the big old cracks in the surface of this iceberg, such as this one here. This is what I think the vanilla ones lack a bit, is having those big natural cracks down the middle. There's only so much that game generation can do to create icebergs like that, and this one here only looks like a solid form without any sort of cracking or this shaping of the iceberg. And that is what I think will look great on a especially larger iceberg, because something like this definitely couldn't form just through freezing. It will have to go through a lot of different cracks and disformities. For example, I might want to add a big crack coming down the middle of this bit here that will show the interior of the iceberg, and it might have a little bit of a see-through aspect, whether I can use normal packed ice or the see-through normal ice that will look into the interior of the building that will have the big spaceship or whatever I'm going to build on the inside. Again, back on the webpage, this is some of the other cracking that I like the look of. This big flat plane of iceberg with these big cracks going in it just like that, that I think some of the Minecraft icebergs lack. But for now, let's start working on the snow peaks at the top of the iceberg. As you can see, it's snowing right now, but the snow doesn't land on top of ice, which is handy, which means that the only snow that will show up is the ones that is placed by the player. Check it out, I've got plenty of snow that I can use. I've got a little bit of snow sheets, which I probably won't have any use for, but we'll have some there just in case. And I'll put my packed ice away because I don't think I'll take a stack just in case we need it. And we'll keep my shulker boxes on me, why not? One thing I noticed is that the ender chest, when placed on ice, doesn't actually melt any of the ice blocks, which can't be the same thing said about torches. So maybe I could use ender chests as a way of lighting up this build, or the outside of it anyway. That's something to think about. Okay, let's start placing some snow blocks. Let's have a look. I think I'll just initially cover up the main peak, and we'll see how this looks. I think I'm happy with how this is coming along. It's nowhere near perfect so far. I think what I'll do is I'll leave some gaps open to show a bit of the ice like this. And I think this will add a little bit to the realism of snow falling onto a surface. Not that I know, I'm Australian. But using from what I've seen, a little bit of a patchier style could be the key to making this look the best it can. But there's only one way to know: when we hop back down. I think that's made a world of a difference. The patchiness has definitely made this look considerably better than it did before. Having a plain flat surface of snow didn't really look too great. So let's continue this down, and I think I want to try to get as much snow as possible up until roughly this point here. So let's go mark that point. And there we go. No snow past this point here. And I think that the lower the snow is from the peak, the more patchy it needs to be. So I'll keep the snow to a minimum at the lowest level here. So only a few blocks here and there. And as we get closer to the peak, we'll start placing more and more snow. And this should give a bit of a gradient look to an actual realistic snow falling pattern. But of course, this is the first time I build something like this, so let's just wing it. And we're done, but I'm freezing to death. Ah, get me out. Get, ah! I'm gonna, Okay, well, I forgot this was part of the game, but through this tiny gap of snow, I think I am very happy now that I've escaped my snowy death. I think it's fair to say I'm happy with how this is turning out. I wouldn't add too much more to the snow on this peak, but just from this alone has added so much to the iceberg. I think what I want to change for this snow is add a bit more of a drip of the snow down on random sides, because looking at it, it's a bit of a flat cutoff here. And if it was a bit more natural, I feel like snow would form down a bit more, so the gradient of the snow would look much better. But for now, let's just do the other peaks and fill them with snow also, and see how it all looks together. I finished working on the peaks, and I think this has come together very, very well. I'm not entirely happy with the smaller peaks. I think I can add a bit more snow to the top. However, I think it comes together really, really well. Again, the same point that I brought up before. I think it needs a bit more snow coming down into this area here, in little spindles of separate snow instead of a big sort of gradient. But we'll see. This is what I have worked on so far, and flying around it, I think it looks fairly good from all angles also. However, comparing this one to the vanilla one, I'm noticing there's a lot more upwards facing mini peaks that have formed, such as these big singular columns of snow that is formed. And this does have a good look in Minecraft because of the way that snow falls, I suppose, creates a big cylindrical column. However, the thing I don't like about these vanilla icebergs is that there's no use of the single snow plane. And I think what the icebergs could use, instead of just having the snow, because there's obviously these bits on top of the ice, I think what it could use is having, well, I was going to say having them on top of the ice, but actually you can't place any snow layers on top of ice, which is a shame. But I wonder if you can place it on normal ice. No. It looks like I won't be able to place any snow layers down onto the ice blocks, which isn't a big deal. I was just going to use it to add to the gradients of the snow going down the ice. This is probably so that when it snows in a cold biome like this, that the snow layers don't cover up top of the ice, which is fair enough. So I guess we'll just have to use the normal snow blocks to place on top of the ice instead. So after doing a little bit more work, I have completely run out of snow. So I think it's about time that we start collecting some wither heads to kill the wither and get ourselves a beacon. So let's head to the nether and get ourselves some wither heads. So I've been running around the fortress for a little bit, and I finally found myself a wither skeleton. Come here, mate. Give us your head. I do have looting 3 on this sword. Chances are a bit higher than usual, but still quite low. Okay, no luck there. Let's keep trying until we get one. Tell me where the wither skeletons are. Tell me where they are. Take me to the wither skeletons, please. Where are they? This way? You're delusional. You're delusional. Hey, and there we go, our first head acquired. Bang, achievement as well. There we go. Didn't take too long for the first head. I am now with the skeleton, they will not know. He knows. No head. Let's keep going. I'm officially a wither skeleton. Yes. If I throw this head up in the air and chant wither 3 times, a wither will be down this corridor. Wither, wither, wither. And then I've got to put it on. God damn it. There we go, head number 2. Give me that. Now all we need is one more. How hard can that be?
Many minutes later.
Okay, I was just getting my stuff back because I died a couple of times and I killed it with a skeleton by hand. And, well, I got a head out of it. So, as long as I can go get my stuff, I think I'm home free.
Many hours later.
Alrighty, finally got my stuff back and I've acquired 3 wither skeleton skulls. Now the reason why I kept dying is because this game has annoying lag that happens, and I'll roll the clip now, of when mobs see you, they instantly, as you can see, kill me. They're like the Flash and they run at me at full pelt and they destroy me. So that's why I kept dying. Now we're all ready to go, and I'll grab some of the soil, sand soil, whatever. We can summon this wither and finally get this thing killed. Alrighty, I've got my wither heads and my soul sand ready to go. I've also got myself an infinity bow to kill this wither. However, I don't want to go to the end and cheese him underneath the bedrock. I want to actually kill this guy legit, because where's the fun in cheesing it? So we're going to find nice open land somewhere over here. And maybe next to this lava lake. This seems fitting. Let's get this guy spawned in, and time to kill him. Everything ready. Alright, here we go. It's withering time. Damn it. Something's not right here. Hello? What? Am I doing something wrong? There we go. Get him. Get him. Oh, he's gonna blow up. He's gonna blow up. Ah! Okay, okay. Bow and arrow time. Come here, Bertha. Run. Run. Now, the bow doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it does enough for our purposes. I only just got this bow, it's only got punch on it. I wanted power and flame, but I was just going for infinity, so as soon as I got infinity, I stuck with it. We need to eat here. Eat, 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 eat. I'm gonna fly back towards the ground, see if you can follow me. He's not following. I guess I have to go back up. Get down here. He's just flying away. It just keeps healing. I'm going to come back with a better bow. Alright, I'm back and I've got myself a power 5 flame bow. So now, if we can lure him down, I think we have a good chance of actually doing some proper damage now. I think he's coming down, so we'll just wait for him to fly down and then we'll start this process. Alright, you see me, this is good. And the weather has seemed to appear to have made this scene quite epic. Ah! Oh my goodness. Get down here. Got him. Big numbers on the board now. Come down, mate. Come on. Boy, that's a big hit. Go away. This is relentless. Oh my goodness. Here he is. Come here. Creep, bro. Go to melee mode, bro. The creeper nearly hit him. The maniac. Here he is, melee. Oh, big damage, big damage. Oh, got him. And there we have it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the wither has been slain. And Nether Star has been acquired. Now we're just going to wait for the wither to wear off. We've got 20 seconds. Let's fly out of here. We've even got a armoured wither's head out of that. A little souvenir to take home. Alrighty, it's beacon making time. Alrighty, got the Nether Star in. Some obsidian and some glass. And there we have it. Beacon baby. There she is. Now all we need is some blocks of iron that I'm going to go buy from a shop to make the beam appear. Let's grab it and go to our base. And lucky for me, the iron shop has affordable prices, as each one of these is 3 diamonds. So I think we'll just grab full stack. There we go. Now we got to find out where exactly we want this beam to go. I think I want it to go directly in the middle of this build, and I think that's this block here. So let's dig on down. And that's the block there. Fantastic. So I'll mark that with my snow block. Let's get a bit of the iron down. And this should work for now. I just want to test it. There we go. Beacon activated. Now let's have a look from the outside. Beautiful. And there we go, guys. The beacon has indeed been placed in that spot. That looks better than I could imagine. Definitely making the theme of the ancient civilization really fit in here. And I think what I'll do to cover this up a little bit more is add a block there, and maybe we'll add a block there and there, just to hide this hole a little bit better. But other than that, it looks fantastic. So now let's go ahead and upgrade this beacon as much as we can with our iron that we've got here. We actually can get haste already just with this beacon setup, so maybe I'll just leave it like this. If we need a bigger setup for whatever reason, we will add it. But the only problem is it looks like the ice is being melted due to the light of this beacon. What I'm going to do is move the beacon a little bit higher up so it doesn't melt all of my floor. This high should be good enough. Put that there. Now we have hastes, we can mine stuff super fast. It will save us a little bit of time when constructing this project. Anyway guys, that's about all the time I have for this episode. So I appreciate you for watching and checking out the video. I'll be streaming on Sunday, which is tomorrow after this video comes out. Make sure to come by and check me out, say g'day. But besides that, I wish you goodbye. No zombie, leave me alone.